see myself. You move here, other side. Correct. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome back. People of the world. Hello. Why is the sound coming that? Oh, is the episode? Oh my god. Okay, it's okay, right? Is it too loud? You have to tell me if it's too loud. Hello everyone. Hello people of the world. Hey Rose. Hi Rose. And with me today is too loud. Teacher Faiz. Yeah, hey some of you joined our live what was it? The other day, Teacher Faiz actually already appeared. So this is his second time showing off his skills as a teacher in the live session. Okay, everyone. Let's try to reach 50K. Oh, wow. Jean has already set the goal for everyone. Let's reach 50K, everyone. It's 3 o'clock. Okay. Now, Teacher Faiz, what are we going through today?
Today, again, it will be primary versus English, but today we're going to focus on still paper 1, but situational writing.
I see. Primary versus secondary. What's the main difference between the two of them specifically for situation? Is there a big difference? Like, does it deserve one full separate live session?
Yeah, because I think later on when you see what we're going to talk about, especially the difference, there's a huge difference in how many words you're going to write. So that is really one big difference.
Oh, and that deserves... Yes. I have actually heard from quite a few students that the main source of the shock when they enter secondary school is normally they like situational writing. Why is it like this? Is that true that students get shocked?
Yeah, usually when I take my Sec 1 classes, those who are from P6 going to Sec 1, right? They will, when we explain to them that you cannot do this, now you must do this, the differences is a bit, the leap is huge.
The leap is, that's the key word, people.
The
leap is huge. Hello, everyone.
Exactly.
Okay, who's here? Okay. Now, actually, I have an idea. Before we start telling them the main differences for situational writing, let's see if they actually remember. I got a B+ for English. Yep, yippee. Hey, Rose! Yippee. Okay, then.
Can you guys share the live? Can you tell them to share the live?
Oh yes, please remember to share the live and share the learnings with everyone, people.
There's this thing, right?
Yes, correct.
This is Teacher Jamie's one lah. I borrow lah. I borrow. Alright, then I'm going to do this.
Let's test them with something because Teacher Faiz and Teacher Jamie's went live last Wednesday and they focused on, what was it that you were talking about? Essay.
Essay, yes.
A quick recap before we proceed to situational writing. Let's see if you guys remember. Can you recall what were the essay genre that Teacher Faiz previously shared from the other day?
Wednesday.
Type it in. Hi, Sherlyn. Okay, Sherlyn, welcome. How many essay genres can you name that they managed, Teacher Javis and Teacher Faiz managed to discuss last Wednesday?
Genre, or you can say it's types lah.
Yeah, types of essay. Name anyone, any essay that you can recall. Let's see. People, type it in. Hello. Wow, thank you for sharing the live, Jean. People. Sherlyn is here. A few people are inside. 3 o'clock, that's amazing. People usually are not around. Argumentative, very good. I wasn't here last week though. Oh, very smart. So this one is from you, Hey Rose. Very good. 1 down. That means to say how many more? 6 more to go. Argumentative, which is actually I would say,
one of the important ones lah.
Correct. Yeah, and primary school. Hi, Teacher Mitsuko and Teacher Faiz. Hi, Kara. Hello. Now Kara knows you also because Kara joined the live. Yeah, Kara was around. The live with.
And she actually got my name right.
Correct. Thank you, Kara. You know how to spell. I think Teacher Faiz would agree with me that our names is normally misspelled.
Especially my name lah.
Right. Yeah. Commonly misspelled words. Yes, argumentative. Oh, wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow, argumentative, narrative, descriptive, personal record. Okay, we have 4. That means to say 2 more missing factual, right? The one where you present both sides of the coins evenly. Correct?
Argumentative, okay.
Okay, argumentative, we accept. And then the other 2 would be your discursive and your expository. Correct?
Yeah, expository, correct.
Oh, very good, very good. Well done. Good job, Kara. Okay, so we are ready to start and see how much. Okay, very good. Yeah, discursive, it's there. Well done, all 7. You've missed one more, Kara. The very special one. What do you mean, teacher? Yeah, it was the one that teacher Faiz showed you at the bottom.
There's one special one. When you have 2 of the genres that need to be written together in one essay. So what is that called? Start with H.
Oh, there you go! Hybrid!
Hybrid.
Wow!
Perfect.
Good job, Kara. Well done. Hybrid, yeah. Yes, very good. So today, let's talk about the leap, especially when it comes to situational writing. Like that. Okay, so let's move on. Let's go. Okay. So firstly, let's talk about the most important thing, the most general differences in secondary school in general. So what about this, teacher Faiz? What's SEC and IP?
Yeah, so again, I'll recap on this. Those who were here on Wednesday, all right, if you can remember, I told you about the Singapore-Cambridge SEC, which is the Singapore Exam Certificate, which is your normal Sec 1 to Sec 4. You know, there's no more normal academic, normal technical, express class. You'll be all together, followed by your SBB, right, which is your subject-based branding. And also this one called the integrated program. So this integrated program is a special program. Not all schools have it. Yeah, I think for those P6 students who will be taking their results this coming
20th November.
Yeah, this coming Monday, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
Wednesday.
This coming Monday, I think Wednesday, yeah. So you will know more about this later on. Yeah.
Correct. So at least terminologies wise, which we will be dropping these terms moving forward. So let's align ourselves. We're calling it SEC from now on.
Yeah, it's no more levels.
Make some comparisons on how different will they be for English SEC versus IP as well. Hello, Sherlyn. I'm so weirded out. How come there's 2 Sherlyns? Sherlyn, my IP syllabus is so weird. I don't know how to do.
Sec 1. You're in Sec 1, is it?
Oh, yeah. Hi. Hey, Rose. What level? Sec 1, 2, 3, 4? That's a very good comment. We shall want to get some insights from you, actually. Yeah, later on, when we actually dive deep into IP versus... Oh, Sec 1. Interesting. Hey, Rose.
Right.
Hey, we have a lot of questions for you. Yes, Heroes is okay. There's 2 Sherlyns. Do you see this? Sherlyn 1, Sherlyn 2.
Hi to the other Sherlyn.
Hi, Sherlyn. Yeah, they're saying hi to each other.
Yeah.
The Sherlyn 1 and Sherlyn 2, but I know this is the same Sherlyn. Do not trick me, Sherlyn. I know it's 2. 2 devices. 2 devices. I'm assuming lah. I'm assuming.
Okay.
Okay. So SEC, these are the things that Teacher Faiz and I will go through today. First, we talk about the assessments. And then Teacher Faiz will also share a bit more on the main differences. And then, of course, the curriculum. Talk a bit more of situational writing and then the lesson formats that we do. But why should they stay, Teacher Faiz?
You must stay until the end. Same thing like on Wednesday, which we have the bonus for 2025. So this bonus could be questions that your teacher will actually, show you for your first Sec 1 WA or practices, especially for situational writing.
Yes.
Okay, so
normally for first weighted assessments, you are normally going to be tested with situational writing, right?
Probably, yeah. So you must wait until the end, and then we will review for you.
Yes. So wait until the end. We'll show you the bonus and what is going to be a highly likely question you'll be getting for your schoolwork or your weighted assessment. Possible. It's a good time to prepare ahead.
Right.
Okay, Wednesday was the O-Level 2024 essay question. Yes, correct, Kara. Very good, very good. I tricked you before. Yes, Sherlyn, you tricked us before. Yeah, so this time around, you get the situational writing. We don't know yet. You will know soon. Okay. Ooh, this is actually the main point of why we're doing this live session. This. What are the expectations? What's the main differences? We go general first before we dive deep into situational writing. Generally, this is the leap. This is the leap from primary to secondary English.
Yeah.
You want to take the first one, Teacher Faiz? What
Yeah.
about higher expectations?
Higher
How
expectations. It's not about jumping how high or what, but actually it's about, because the components in your secondary level is way challenging. All right, you got to think critically as well when you answer the questions, and also it's more lengthy in content. So it's not only that you have to write just like 2-3 pages. Probably you have to write 6 pages.
At least.
Yeah, at least. Yeah. So that's why it's very challenging. And the question types are different. So like what me and teacher Jamis actually told you guys on Wednesday, that the question types for your essays are already different. So is the situational writing also today, which we will share more later on.
Okay, yeah. we don't mean to scare you, huh? It's just that we want to be honest with you early on. Yeah, because it's better that you know beforehand, so you don't get a shock by the time you start secondary school.
So-called be prepared lah.
Correct,
yeah.
Correct. We want to give you a head start for your secondary life. So if I were to break that down, Teacher Faiz, that means to say they had to deal with more information to process, at the same time write more.
Yes, correct.
Take in more, produce more. Wow, so much uploading and downloading involved is perhaps times 2, times 3, times 5 compared to primary.
Right.
So we are here to prepare you. Okay, higher expectations. Oh, weightage. Okay, this one is pretty straightforward. And then the interesting part of this is the distribution. When I was looking at the differences, right? In oral and in paper one, it's very different from how PSLE works, because it's like this is situational writing and then this is compo.
Correct.
And then this is like reading aloud and then this is stimulus-based conversation. But then how it's different for secondary school, right? Because it's even out, so the load of work you have to do for both components is actually,
for all components are actually quite equal. Heavier lah. Heavier in a way.
There's no such thing as, oh, this is a giveaway.
No.
This one, it's okay if I don't do well for the reading aloud because there's stimulus based anyway, or it's okay if I flunk situational writing. This compo cannot. Oh my goodness, you will know.
You have to master all 4 papers actually. You can ask. I think Royce, you can attest to that. Yeah.
Yes, you see, you hear that voice? Yes, that's our student. Who has just actually finished O levels. So someone here can really speak to the difficulty level. Sure, for my overall this year, I got AL6. Sherlyn, AL6 for what? Prelims. You haven't gotten the results yet for
maybe prelims.
PSLE, right? Yeah. So this is prelims, is it?
She's a P6 student.
Yeah, correct. Sherlyn P6. Oh, thank you for the gift, Harold. Thank you.
P5.
For P5. Oh. So that means to say you calculated AL6. Okay, that's good, Sherlyn, that you are keeping track of your overall grade. Continue doing so. It's even more important until P6, but don't go crazy over it. I hope it's important how you process that tracking that you're doing. You have to know your strengths and weaknesses, so you know what to focus on, where your effort should go as you enter P6, yeah? Okay, Sherlyn, P5. Oh, we have some interesting live sessions for you soon for P4 and P5 students. But this is still helpful for you. So at least earlier for you, you're ready for secondary school. I got AL19 for last year. That means to say, if it's the same Sherlyn, it's a big jump. Very good. You improved a lot. Very good. Okay. Now, increased dependency on logic and critical thinking. I think the keyword is increased because PSLE, I know it's not that easy as well. We do understand you students. We're not saying that PSLE is too easy. But when it says increase, that means
it's going to get difficult in a
Yeah.
way. It's going to get difficult in a way. And also, for secondary components such as SW, your situational writing, your essay, all this, it requires you to think logically and you got to think out of the box. You got to think critically, especially for paper 4, which we're not going to do now, but we're going to talk about it later on. All right, oral especially. All right, you have to think on the spot. All right, you don't have time to, you know, like getting like 1 hour or 2 hours or a day or half a day to think about this. You have to think on the spot and you have to respond to it.
Correct.
All right, so that is one example I can give you for critical thinking. And logic-wise, I think for situational writing, it has something to do, most of the questions and the stimulus that you see has something to do with your everyday life as a student as well. So I will show you some examples later on why I say it has to do with what you are doing like every day.
Every day.
Yeah. Especially in school, you know, like activities, VIA, all this. Yeah.
So pay attention to what you do. At the same time, I think one thing I realized here is a lot of the writing in primary school, it's either it's given to you, as in situational writing, it's all in the stimulus. And then for composition, you can make it up. But this time around, the logical and the critical thinking is involved is also because some things are now more factual in secondary school, both in situational writing and in essay. There's no such thing as making things up anymore. You will know more about that later when we go through it now. And finally, of course, passages of high literacy value. One quick thing about this, the very beautiful thing is the literature texts that you get are more varied. And so the level of comprehension is also pretty intense. So it's also more global. It's very interesting, right? That secondary students really touch on, you have to really keep up pace with the changes in the times and update yourself with very commonly tested topics, which are problems that we are currently facing. So we shall brace ourselves for it. Okay, so at this point in time, we shall then proceed to SEC, the one that teacher Faiz mentioned, SEC versus IP. No, hey Rose, you are IP, right? I see. This one, we will be showing information now about IP and SEC. Anyone else here who is currently secondary student, aside from Hey Rose? Hello, hello, hello. Now, let's chit-chat about this part and let's see the main differences between two and how even the Writers at Work curriculum caters to both that. Okay, let's see. Can you go and, can people read? Not much, huh?
Can lah. This is exactly the same like what we, 2 days ago on Wednesday. So for this one, remember that today we are going to go through this one, which is the number 3, the green one. All right. So this is the difference between SEC English, all right, and also IP. And as you can see here, all right, there's a difference lah, but not much.
Correct.
Okay. So for example, for SEC English, that means for your normal secondary class, I mean the stream, it's a formatted situational writing. So the formats can be either in speech, proposal, or letter. So the difference for primary and secondary is that in primary it's only like informal, formal, but in secondary there is an extra one called speech, proposal, letter, something like that, etc. More formats involved. And if you look at the IP side, all right, it says here coursework. All right, so coursework, I think I can ask Shemisuko, what do you understand by coursework?
I'm not sure, Teacher Faiz. What's coursework?
Coursework is basically more like probably for IP students, if I'm not wrong, all right, they will sit in class and after that, this situational writing will be in a group format. Then between teachers and also the class as a whole.
Understand. So to put it simply, Sec 1 and 2 most especially, that means to say there's not a lot of difference.
Right.
But ultimately, one thing everyone should basically know is that the skill set you need
is the same
to do the correct, to do the situational writing well, whether you're SEC or IP, is the same. Yeah, it's the same. but definitely different from PSLE.
Right,
So
right, definitely. Much higher
move
level.
higher, because you see the word speech, right? There's a huge difference when you write something that's meant to be read and when you write something that's meant to be said out loud. Very different. And so it's a different skill set altogether. Like, oh, this is a speech. I cannot be using this length of sentences, for example, because people will not understand it when I say it, but people will understand it if they read it, for example. Right. Yeah, so a lot of 5K likes. Thank you. That was fast. Thank you so much.
One more thing to add. At the end of the day, even though you say it's different, right?
Correct.
But at the end of the day, for IP students, you will still have like end of year, you still have an exam that will include you to write SW.
Correct.
So basically, it's,
you will need it eventually. You will
correct.
have to do
I think maybe Hey Rose can attest to that.
Correct. Hey Rose.
Maybe
how are you? Sec 1 is it? So you're about to end Sec 1. How was your end of year, Hey Rose? How was it for you? How was your experience doing an end of year in secondary life as compared to your doing an end of year in primary life?
Right,
Do share it with us while you're typing. I hope you're still there. I was speaking to one of our...
Stressful. This is stressful.
Oh my God, Hey Rose, what a helpful word. Stressful in what sense, Hey Rose?
Teachers also stressful. Because we have to mark, right? So sometimes we also very stressed, not only students.
Even longer work for secondary, right?
Yeah.
Longer marking time for teacher Faiz as well, ladies and gentlemen. I was speaking to one of our students as well, very early on, Priscilla. And then she just ended her end of year, IP. And then she was sharing the length of work now longer.
Definitely.
She say, it's longer, group work is all there. She already started doing letter and report for situation. But they are still in personal recount, for example.
Right.
So, more importantly, we shall dive into that stressful, that's the word. Because, got so much to learn.
Yeah.
Poor girl. Don't cry, it's fine. it's a good thing that you're here. It's a good thing that you're here, so at least a lot more things will click the moment you understand how much of learning is left for you to do. I hear Rose, understand. Okay, since we talked about the main differences and understandably the skill sets are the same, it's still there's still a leap now. So we have to up our game. Well, up our game for students have to up your game for secondary school. But writers of work is definitely our curriculum is preparing our students for this. Yeah, we understand the leap, so we built our curriculum to help bridge the gap between primary and secondary.
Yep.
Correct. So our technique on story banking still lives on all the way to secondary curriculum, and we do say that we cater to both IP and SEC students because we understand the skill sets involved. We understand what you'll be facing for examination. So later on, you actually learn more about this when we show you our lesson formats now. But more importantly, let's dive into it. What are the 3 things that we will go through today, Teacher Faiz, when it comes to situational writing? I think first, more importantly, we talk about, we show them the difference. Let's show them
the comparison which we have already told you, the difference between situational writing in PSLE and also situational writing in secondary.
I think
so
we better when you see the paper,
correct, yeah.
And then struggles now. I think we get your answers, and then later we shall confirm. We shall confirm, and finally, of course, we don't just talk about problems. We shall talk to you about
solutions.
Correct. Solutions, things you can do, and even things that we do as well, teaching students here. Now, this is the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. Like that. I like the Spider-Man sound effects. Follow Writers at Work. Oh wow! Thank you, people of the world, for sharing that too. Hey, share the live so that 5 shares of the live, including Jean's one. Thank you. Let's learn together. Okay, now is the time. People of the world, I'm not sure if you were around when we did this. Let me see. Keira was around, but Hey Rose was not around. So Keira, people of the world, Hey Rose, let's do the guessing game. Okay,
so maybe start the drums rolling For situational writing, today we're talking
I
about...
don't have the drums, I only have...
Okay lah. For situational writing, so how many words? Okay, so hey Rose, maybe if you know, maybe you might want to, you know...
Let's use this.
You see, Kira already...
If you want to aim for A1, huh? Before, okay, 150 words can finish already. PSLE, very short.
Kira gave the answer already.
Kira, what did you say? 7? Oh, wow, Kira. Oh my God, Kira. What a smart girl. Okay, but teacher Faiz, it's 150 here. Is carrot sword? No, unfortunately, we have the banana sword today. I forgot that time, but I think it's one. Oh my God! She got everything correctly. Actually, that's the wrong side effect. Okay, side effect should be, yay! Like that. Very good. So from 150, is it correct? 750?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it is 750. So you see the big jump in numbers or words that you must actually write for your
Wow, more than...
situational writing.
I'm not very smart with math, but that's more than 200%.
More lah, 600%.
Yeah. Right. That's quite high. Yeah, that's quite high. 750 words. That's basically what? That's basically an essay already. Oh my goodness. And that means to say 750, is this what's indicated in the question paper?
It's indicated in the question paper, yeah.
For the situational writing. Because some students are going to
It's
say, oh,
recommended.
It's 350.
Recommended.
Yeah, but you do PSLE, they tell you 150, If you do 150 ultimately in your PSLE composition, that's basically the bare minimum.
Yeah.
You will never get your AL1 if you go and say, the question page says 150, I'm just going to write a compo 150.
You never
that's
get
enough for intro only.
you never get A1 if you write like two
Correct,
pages.
right?
Yeah.
You want to give your points, you want to elaborate, you want to prove to them that your choice was the best choice. 750 or more. That's it. A1 and aim for the highest one. Aim for the best. You can do it. I had like a paper which was personal recount only, half a page. That is 500% increase. Wow, very smart. Okay. Only half a page. What do you mean only half a page? I had like a paper which was personal recount, only half a page. You've written only half a page. Is it heroes or
Yeah. I think that's what he meant. She meant. I mean, yeah.
Interesting. And if this is the jump for situational writing, and from compo it used to be 750. If I were to really aim for AL1, how much at least if we aim for A1 in secondary school? Must be higher, huh?
I think just now.
Let's see if Kara was correct.
Yeah, 50.
Dun, dun, dun. Very good. Oh, actually, I revealed everything already. Okay.
Yeah.
850 words. Yeah. What a jump. I think the tricky part for the essay writing was that you used to write 2 types in primary school, and now you're writing 7 types in secondary school. Not easy, but master every single one of them. Oh, but teacher Faiz, is it then okay for me to just go and say, okay, I can breathe because even with the increase in the word count, I get more time.
The time, I mean, I've seen students who actually, even though you give them 1 hour 50 minutes, they cannot finish.
It's because longer, huh?
Yeah, because if you are writing, it depends. You must actually plan your time carefully. Plan your situational writing time. What's the maximum you want to write, and then after that you have time for your essay. So you need to plan your time wisely for this. Yeah.
Hello, Ozil05! Is secondary so hard? Sherlyn, if you prepare yourself ahead, it would not be that hard. We cannot promise you, of course, that it's going to be easy. Nothing is easy. Learning is always a painful process.
Correct.
But you can lower the difficulty for yourself if you prepare ahead. Hello, Ozil05. Welcome to you. We're happy to see you early on today.
Son, Ozil as in what? Mesut Ozil, the footballer?
Oh!
Is it?
There is a famous footballer with that name.
Yeah,
Ozil05, is that the reason why? Oh my God, you've been joining our live for so long. I never knew that was the reason why. Is it because... Hi, Alyssa! I don't know. All the sound effects for you.
Maybe because he's an Arsenal fan, that's why he used the name Ozil. I don't know. Maybe.
Is teacher Faiz correct? Is that the reason behind the Ozil05? Ozil05? You shall let us know. Okay, so what I have learned from Teacher Faiz today is, just because they give you a higher time limit, it's because you have more things to write.
Right.
So your time management level that you've learned in PSLE must even go and improve more on secondary school, because now it used to be okay, how many marks now? Situational writing with PSLE changes. This is now 14, and then this is 36.
36.
Like, oh, one big, one small. This one big also. It's like that. So with 1 hour and 50 minutes, you need to really manage your time well. Sure, is it better to start with situational writing or essay writing? Teacher Faiz.
I would say always start with your situational writing first, because the planning doesn't take up that much time. Yeah.
Nonetheless,
So
still plan.
yeah, nonetheless, you still have to. The more practice you do, the more you can time yourself. That's where you will know how to gauge your time lah for doing when you want to start first. But usually, what I suggest is always do the situational writing first. It's not because whether it's easy or difficult, but just do the SW first.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think students ask the same question for primary and they ask the same question for secondary. I will also have the same answer. You have to know your own pace of writing. Because if you don't know, right, no matter which one you do first, you will overrun if you overrun. But if you know your pace, as in I plan for this long, I write for this long, and then your goal all throughout the year is to make sure you do it, you manage to do it faster, then you are good to go. So for me, it doesn't matter which one you write first, but you have to know your own pace of writing.
Correct.
And you can only be really faster if, number one, you unpack questions very quickly. You know what, you chose the right essay question, you immediately understood the requirements of your situational writing, then it should be, the processing is quick lah. And only with practice can you do that.
Yeah, so
Yeah?
you need to practice lah. Practice makes perfect as well, right? So yeah.
Yes. So that was a good question. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Holy-
Ozil is named after the guy.
Oh, he said
After the
that.
footballer.
Confirm, is it?
Confirm.
Oh, you are actually named after. Oh my
After a
god.
famous footballer.
So this is not just a choice of TikTok handle. It's actually your name. Oh my god, it's amazing. It's amazing because I know some people who are actually really named after, I don't know, the parents, right?
Parents are Arsenal fan, I guess.
Correct.
I
I
don't
know
know.
someone named like Sushmita. Do you know who Sushmita is?
No,
No.
I don't know.
Yes, correct. It's a beauty queen. So she was named after a beauty queen. And like, oh my god. Okay, interesting. Oh, that was a real name named after someone famous. I'm nervous for results because I don't know how I did. Okay, it's okay, Alyssa. Here's the thing, how that one already done. Cannot change the results anymore. So, I understand. I don't want to dismiss your feelings. But let's wait and don't dwell on it so much. Whatever you see there eventually is what you did. You did your best. That one I know.
Right.
Okay. Now, so now we see, okay, actually this is the biggest leap. For me, I would really say big, very big leap. So it's very important that we understand situational writing, people. And Teacher Faiz promised you something, that the first one in the list of three is for you to see the difference for yourself. How to see that? To actually see the actual papers. Okay, PSLE first. I think everyone's very familiar with this.
Yeah, very cartoonish, you know. Yeah.
Information, there are dates, place, location, and then sometimes there's a conversation here and there. So now this conversation with Betty, I thought of running with Peter, but he's okay, that's okay. Then mommy suggested to invite someone else instead. Oh sure, pretty straightforward, let's go. But, okay, how does stimulus look like for
Secondary school.
Even without seeing the words, you already know for sure you have to write you have to read so much info already. That's 3 paragraphs of 3 different VIA projects. One is to support teenagers with special needs, be a champion for the visually impaired,
and care for our animal friends.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Teacher Faiz, later I will need some tips from you as to how should students be choosing which choice later on. But from this alone, what can we conclude.
The difference. Can
What
see the
difference?
massive difference, right?
It's the amount of information, ladies and gentlemen.
If you look here carefully for PSLE, it's a bit more cartoonish, and then it's like, you know, and you look at for the stimulus for secondary, these are all real life pictures.
Yeah, correct.
This is what you see every day. And if you look carefully, this is factual. All these outside VIA projects, even in schools, you do VIA, right?
Yes,
yeah.
correct.
So this can be like one of your VIA that you actually did in school before, or you are going to do when you enter secondary school.
Correct.
Yeah.
Look at Kira. So many words. Yes, that is the conclusion for this. Brace yourself. The stimulus will have more information for you to process now. But I think it's both good news and bad news. I would say it depends on how much they choose to learn, because like what teacher Faiz said, these are real life situations that you may be experiencing. So you should be able to talk about it, but at the same time, you practice how to talk about them and get more information about them.
That is actually one tip lah. Because if you experience it already,
correct.
then you are supposed to write it. It would be much easier because you experienced it before. All right, versus you never experienced it before, then it would take additional help lah.
So the tip is basically choose the one that you can talk about more.
Yeah, that you already know that you did before, so that will be much more easier, right? You will know what to do, what to write if you've done it before.
Correct.
Especially in real life.
Yeah.
Right?
You can talk about it like if you know something about it. Wait, for Sec 1, what do we write about though? Kira, if you're talking about situational writing, here's the thing. Depends on what they ask you in the question page. Okay? Let's show you now. So from that stimulus, right, this is how the question page looks like.
So this is your primary school, right? So primary school, you see that, imagine you are Betty, write an email to Aisha to persuade her to join the event. So the event was, I think, a running event.
Correct.
Then you are to refer to the picture and information on page 2 of your email. All right, and after that, I think you should know that these are all your task fulfillments. All right, in your email, include the following key information: date of the event, distance to cover, yada yada, all this, right? So you may reorder the points, remember to write in complete sentences. So if you refer back to the stimulus just now, your PSLE format or your primary school format, right? It has all the answers in the stimulus, which you can actually live, and after that, write it out in complete sentences. So that is how you do your SW in primary school, right? But in secondary school, all right, you will get this chunk of paragraph.
Yeah.
All right, this is actually the purpose, the context of what is happening. And after that, these 3 bullet points, although you see these 3 bullet points, they are little, right? This one 5, this one 3. But, okay, if you were to carefully read, can you just find an answer in the stimulus for these 3 bullet points?
Wow.
Can you find or not?
Wow. Good question. Because I was telling teacher Faiz just now, 5 bullet points, this one only 3 bullet points. That means situational writing is easier in secondary school, is it? And then teacher Faiz now is asking the same question. Read the bullet point and try to find if you can find it in the stimulus.
Okay, let me give you an example. So let me read this out. I don't think you all can see, right? So for this 3 bullet points, I'll give you one. Give a date and time to carry out your chosen project.
Date and time, can I go back?
If you go back, you can see your date and time. Is there any date and time there? So that is one very obvious one that you see. You cannot get the answers from your stimulus.
Which inside here actually can find ma.
But for primary, yes, you can. Everything is there.
That's true.
Yeah, you just need to identify properly.
That's even the first bullet point. You go and check the second and third, and then imagine the 750 words. So that's the amazing part, right? Put your logic inside.
Yes, Kira is right.
The word count is 750. They only gave you 3 bullet points to make up that 750 words. That means to say, where does all the elaboration come from? From you.
Yeah.
It's from you.
Yeah.
Kira, you need to think on your own, like logical thinking.
yes.
Correct. There's decision making involved that will come from you. They will not feed you. They will not feed you. So that's I think the biggest leap, right? Higher word count, higher weightage, but at the same time, critical thinking and decision making involved as well. Which I would like to highlight, by the way, if there's any primary student here. The examinations are really gearing towards critical thinking, because if you recall in PSLE changes for 2025, there's this one mark that is already added in situational writing that will require inference from the students. So that means to say, while most of it can be lifted, there's this one mark that they will get from you, which you will not find mostly straightforward or directly in the stimulus.
Right.
So that, you know, they're really gearing towards really getting you to squeeze those brain juices and make sure that you put in more effort into analyzing things now. Yeah, which I think is good now to you know, get students to think more critically. But of course, I understand that it will pair with teaching you how to do it.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, go back
Yes,
to that.
okay. So if we go back to the question page, okay, higher word count but fewer bullet points means more explanation coming from you. What else? There's one. Yes.
Although it's fewer bullet points, you still need more to think, more to write. And also for this, you see the difference here. You have a whole chunk here, which is a paragraph that you need to read carefully, because this is actually part of your context and also the purpose you are writing.
Correct.
So you need to read carefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
Later, okay, later.
Later, we got
later.
some bonus questions and also example questions, which we can actually talk about it later.
Yes.
Yeah. So still stay here, stick around, don't go yet.
You should see it for yourself, right? Oh, interesting. So now you saw sample papers, okay? You saw the comparison. We basically really showed it to you, so you see the biggest difference. But on top of really seeing that question paper, that means to say you see the difference in how you should be unpacking the question. Ultimately, what's the difference then in the difficulty when you start writing?
The challenges you face lah.
Correct.
All right.
Okay. There's actually three main ones, but let's see if they can guess it, Teacher Faiz.
I already talked about it just now, especially the first one that
Correct. Teacher Faiz dropped you.
I always drop you
answers
hints.
to this one.
Yeah.
So if you listen, you will get the answer. What do you think? You can give one, two, or three, up to you. No matter if you have so many, then feel free to give them out. What do you think are the three biggest challenges that we always hear from Sec 1 and 2 students the moment they step into secondary school and start doing paper 1 situational writing? Okay, we have one. Critical and logical thinking. Interesting. Anyone else?
What else?
Inference, I see. I like the usage of the word. Very accurate. Selling mixed items. Hello, welcome. We are interested what mixed items you share.
Format.
Oh,
Okay.
Interesting. Also 05. Elaboration, I see.
Format, I think it's one of the key challenges as well, because you need, I mean, in your PSLE, your primary level, you only have like 2.
Correct.
Formal,
right?
informal, yeah, that's it.
So I think Ozil's one falls under the number 2.
Yeah,
And then Kira's one falls under number 1.
right, correct.
I see. Badge. Oh, okay. Oh, just like
Gifter
number
badge.
3. That means to say they gifted, is it? Or did they
I
just
know.
get the gift badge?
I know.
Okay, actually, okay, that is correct. Ozil, you hit one bullseye. Kira, you also hit another bullseye. So let's reveal one of them, which is actually the biggest one. Actually, let's trim it down to one word. There is one thing you cannot do in secondary situational writing anymore, which you used to do in primary situational writing, which is learn my lesson to not join any second. Huh?
Learn my
Not
lesson
join
not to any secondary school.
What do you mean, Jordan? I think that sentence is incomplete.
10 years of education in Singapore is compulsory.
Yes.
So if you
we
don't
are
join us,
missing one word here.
if she doesn't join a secondary school, then the parents have to answer to the police.
which is actually something very good that the government does.
Yeah.
Okay, education. We must write the dates. Okay, stay in primary school. To stay in I learned my lesson. To not join it. To stay in primary school. I see. Okay, the first one is that you can no longer lift. That's the word. Okay, I review the second one. Not yet, not yet. First one first.
Yeah, so answers cannot be found in your stimulus, all right, in your graphic stimulus page, which is the picture that they give you in the previous page. So for primary school, like what I said just now, me and teacher Miss Koo said that you can find answers still in the stimulus. But for secondary, like what I said just now, even the date and when to do it, all these things, activities, you cannot find. You got to write your own.
Sure, it's doing practices for Sec 1, Paper 1 useful.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, madam. Of course. So, this is the very reason why all the words you dropped, Kara, make sense. Because if you cannot find the information, all of them in the stimulus, you will have to provide it. So you have to be logical in what you write. You have to infer and what would most likely be your audience be looking for. And you have to critically think. And even strategic, I would say. Like, okay, if I have 3 choices, which one can I talk about more?
Talk about first as well, in order.
Correct,
Yeah, it must be in order.
Correct. Actually, that was a good point. Choosing which point and then deciding, okay, which amongst this option can I talk more about? But even when I already chose an option, which among my my ideas should be said first? Structuring them. Oh my God, it's a whole
structuring
process.
them carefully and in order.
Correct. Sure, my house got ghost typing on my. Kara, you'll need teachers to guide you for sure, for sure. One thing we can share with you, Kara, is 2 things. Yeah, more practices definitely will work.
Right.
But you have to be smart in how you do the practices as well. It's like saying, read more, read more. Students can read thousands of books but still not be able to be exam smart. Okay, so 2 things. Practice more but practice strategically. You have to know what to be practicing for. Yep. Okay, so can I find everything in the stimulus? Let's move on to the second one, that Ozil. Ozil, you actually dropped, what did Ozil say earlier? You were asking like format?
Yeah, format.
Yeah. Basically, you are correct because there's many more types of things you can write.
It's not just formal and informal email or letter whatsoever. Now you have like speeches, articles, proposal, and also reports. So all these are different formats that you need to learn and you need to know. All right. Although maybe you don't like, maybe like for example, you don't like proposal, but you still need to know. Right. Yeah.
It's the same as saying like, I don't like this story, but then that was the story you needed to answer the compo question.
Yeah. So you need to know.
Yeah. So it's really not just as simple as, send a letter to Teacher Faiz to apologize for what you did, for making noise, or sometimes write a letter to invite Teacher Faiz to join you in the fun run or something like that.
Yeah.
You'd have like different things. Speech for what? To convince them. Speech to what? To give them 3 types of information. Propose what? Informal and in what tone? Oh my goodness, different formats. But that would mean to say, just prepare yourself, expose yourself to these formats and make sure you know what each one of them requires. Typing. Okay. There's a ghost. Is it typing for you? Is it, Kara?
Ghost.
You believe in ghost, Teacher Faiza?
Don't want to say.
Don't want to say. Shh. We have to be very safe.
I'm more scared of cockroaches than ghosts, so yeah.
Cockroaches, I agree. Especially the ones that can
fly.
Very good. Not for Shirley, not me. Understand? Okay, and the final one. Okay, this one we asked the students. Kara, are you secondary student?
I think no.
Who are secondary students here? Let's see, huh?
Ozil is.
No.
I P6. Oh, Kara is P6.
Oh, Kara is P6. Oh, this one is very good for you then. Very good discussion for you. Me, Ozil. Okay, Ozil, question. How many situational writing practices have you done so far?
From start of the year until the
Correct.
currently lah.
1 full year from this full year. How many practice did you manage? One that is not group work doesn't count.
Yeah. I think for Heroes is more on group work because she's an IP student, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If Heroes 8, wow, that's a lot. Very good for you. Is 20 enough for a year, Kara? I see. H, hello, H.
H says 0.
Wow.
Okay, no need to mention your school.
Okay, no need to mention schools, huh? The purpose of asking this is to kind of like tell you that the numbers differ per school.
Yeah.
So you cannot rely on telling yourself, oh, for sure, I will get this amount to practice in school. You are basically at the mercy of what your school choose to prioritize now, because we don't have the time in the world, for sure. Your teachers handle too many students. And so it depends sometimes on the decision to, okay, do we focus on situational writing? Do we focus on essay? And which genre even, if it's essay? Wow, so Ozil 8 in 1 year is lucky. You should be happy already.
So for the 8, probably you I think for everything already. Probably.
Would be able to.
Yeah.
And that's a very good number. On average, a lot of it is lower. It's because, of course, you understand the marking load your teacher gets now. When they have to mark, of course, that's 1 versus 40 of you. It's not easy. Yeah, and it's a longer work. Is that, oh my God, the life is way easier when we teach lower primary, right? 4 or 5 paragraphs, girl, give me less than an hour. That one can finish.
Right.
Yeah, but secondary school, longer work, so they need time to mark. So obviously, it will take a bit more of time. At the same time, they're all paper 1, paper 2, 3, and 4, all competing time for one single subject in school.
Right.
So understandably, not a lot of time lah. So basically, it's a reality lah.
Lack of school practices. Yeah.
Sometimes not even individual group work. But Teacher Fai is what do you think is the difference then when there's like an individual work and a group work? Let's say we work together to write situational writing piece. How different is the result when it's 5 students working on the same? The same write-up as opposed to 1 person working on the
5 brains is better than 1, right? That's obvious. That's pretty obvious. But at the end of the day, you must still know that you are taking the exam on your own. So when you are doing discussions, yes, maybe you forget about this point. Maybe you forget that, oh, I have to write this. But your friend say, hey, you forget, so let's write this down. Yes, your friend might help you. That is good for group work, group discussions. But at the end of the day, if you do not learn from your mistakes, especially during the group work, you didn't realize, and then after that you okay lah, never mind. And then the next time when you are doing your exam or your weighted assessment alone.
That's correct. Group work does have its own merits now, as in, but that's given that the student also actually learns from the group mates' ideas.
Correct.
Sometimes they're freeloaders. Sometimes the workload is not evened out when you work with other people.
Correct.
Sometimes you clash, ideas clash, and sometimes even with the result of your work, right? One person paragraph 1, second person paragraph 2. How will the whole work look like? The C and C, which Teacher Faiz will talk about later, will not be there. Very hard to make something flow very well if 5 of you worked, unless you're really, really good at doing it already. That one of you can just make it flow naturally. Wow, 5 different people, very hard. It will look like, it's like if I were to say, oh, let's make a song now. Teacher Faiz will contribute 1 line and I will contribute 1 line. Later we don't know. Teacher Faiz will give something rock song, then I will give a country song like that. Then it was a funny one.
Kira said a very good question. Each student might have different writing types. Yeah, probably you think that, oh, this is actually a speech, but this is actually a proposal.
Correct.
Yeah.
So time is already going to be eaten just by you adjusting to everyone in the
I
team.
am a freeloader during group projects.
Oh my God, Ozil 05, I am reminding you now. Contribute.
Okay.
But at the same time, right, I think that's the biggest problem as well for some students when you do group work. Some of them also don't want to, they don't want to fight. So sometimes they just go and say, okay, do whatever you want. Some people also are very strong.
Yeah, I'm always the leader in a group.
See,
so
Teacher Faiz,
I have
wow.
Yeah. So I will ask, although sometimes I don't have any ideas, I was like, oh, you have this? Yes, you write this down. Okay, I will always be the like,
But that's a good kind of leader, you see.
yeah, I guess so.
The problem is, some people just insist now when they leave. Okay, I want this. No, what do you say? I don't like it. We don't put that. It's like that. So sometimes it's in luck. You're lucky if you have someone who listens now. Like,
Correct.
I like your idea, we put it down or like that. And then you facilitate very well. But of course, we are in secondary school. You will be dealing with many different kind of people in
Correct.
class.
I'm most likely the script in group project. Okay, contributor
so
lah.
at least you know your strengths, right? So you know where your strengths lie. The scribe.
Scribe,
So
scribe.
you contribute. That's good. You have to know your strengths, so you know where you can contribute best. And then so hopefully everyone also sees that. So like, okay, she's good at this. We put this on. This one you hear. No?
Yeah.
Delegation, people. Delegation.
This one secondary school lah.
Yeah, but ultimately remember what teacher Faiz said. When you go to the examination, you are doing it on your own. Yes. So group work will help. Please remember to get more ideas from everyone else. But ultimately, you have to have the exam stamina to write the whole thing on your own. Okay? Okay, people? But don't worry. We talk about problem. We also talk about solutions. Okay, teacher Faiz. If these are all our problems, okay, help me match how these problems are solved. Wow. So yes, that is why Writers at Work has built a very strong curriculum that would solve these problems for our secondary students. Oh, okay, let's see. Question requirements. First step when you go to the question page is unpack properly. What does it mean, teacher Faiz?
So for these question requirements, right, you have to read the whole text and then what the task fulfillments require. And later on, I will show you an example of also what are these type of task fulfillments, the bullet points, and also what type, how can you identify and spot different types of situational writing format that they ask you. Maybe it's a speech, maybe it's a proposal, maybe it's an email. All right? Yeah, so all this you need to understand and you need to analyze the unpacking part lah. All right? And yeah, the next one.
Oh, and there's one more.
This is very special. Maybe for students at Writers at Work, teachers at Writers at Work actually gave you this new technique lah, which we call avatar creation or characterization. All right, so you know when you are writing situational writing, when you are doing it, you are actually writing as that person in the question.
Correct.
All right. So remember your primary school, you have your PAC, purpose, audience, context.
Yes.
So for secondary school as well, we have this PAC, but there are two other added T's.
Who can guess?
All right, so you have your purpose, audience, context, but you have two more T's. Maybe you would like to,
Try to guess. People.
try to guess what are the two T's.
So teacher Faiz said PAC, that one you're familiar with in primary school, but in secondary school you have PAC still, but with two more letters, T and T.
Yeah, T and T.
What do you think T and T stands for? Give it a guess.
I think the secondary school students might know.
Yeah, correct.
Text format,
I see. Continue guessing.
Tone, very
I see.
good.
Anything else? Actually, one of them is actually on the board. Is it?
No. Yeah, it's actually here lah.
Yeah.
Your task fulfillments lah. Yeah.
Alright, time. Okay. Very good.
Yep.
Let's confirm the two T's.
Alright, so the two T's are actually your task fulfillments, which I talked about it just now. And Ozil, you said right, tone. Okay, so what are these? I will tell you later on. But down here, our creative edge at Writers at Work is that we actually teach you, the teachers actually here, teach you this avatar creation or characterization. This is where you will know who to write as, you create your own character, and also who you are writing to. All right?
Actually, let's give an example for that. For example, you are
Capybara.
matcha.
What's the name again?
Matcha and mochi. Mochi matcha.
Matcha and mochi.
Okay, let's say in the task fulfillment, in the task fulfillment, they ask you to. I will base this matcha. I will base this upon the sample question that you got earlier. This is You are matcha. And your task was, as a class chairman, the teacher told you to give a speech to the class to talk about those 3 projects so that your class will eventually, you're going to convince them, for example. Let's say you convince them to go and join the projects, right? Now, then teacher Faiz, if I were to, really put myself in the shoe and I will become the class chairman of the class, then what are the qualities of a class chairman that you should put yourself into so you can convince, your classmates? That means to say I should be what? I should have like leader-like skills. I should be convincing. See?
So those characteristics are how you're going to write S.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I need to know what's my tone. Oh, I'm a class chairman. I'm convincing. I am decisive. I present well. And then I'm able to give them all the points because they trust me, like that. So you need to create your really full avatar and who you are as the writer. But at the same time, who else?
Who you are writing as. Who you are writing to, sorry.
Correct. Who am I writing to? Let's say...
Maybe the principal.
Correct. Let's say I am writing for the principal. It's different, huh? Your tone, how you convince the principal will be different how you convince your classmates, for example. Right? You have to know who they are, what they want. You see what I mean? What they want. And most likely, relatable. You need to be relatable. You need to know their interests. You have to know and really create that avatar so you can write well. Okay? Responsible. Very good. That's correct, Keira. So if I'm a class chairman, I have to be responsible. I need to know I'm sharing all the correct information, like that. So avatar creation, very fun. The teacher Faiz, you do this with your class and then they draw.
Yeah, we actually do a lot of notes lah. Later on, I will show you some of the notes that we actually go through in class. All right, that my students actually, when it comes to situational writing lessons, all right, they will be very excited to do this characterization.
Yeah, that's nice. So the students at the end of the day, when you join Writers at Work, the students always have their own lingo, the Writers at Work lingo that only they can understand. Like, oh, we do avatar creation. Like, what do you mean by avatar creation? Of course, the other students will know, but we try to even sometimes put very cute or fun names into the strategies we teach them. So number 1, so it's easy for the students to remember. Number 2, it's easy for us to help them recall when we do the whole process again.
Correct.
Wow, so that's what our students learn here, to solve a lot of problems. But, the teachers put in so much effort to do this. I'll show you one example. I know you cannot read. You don't have to be able to read this, don't worry. But teacher Faiz, what is this? Why so many red and oranges and blues?
These are actually notes that we as teachers here gave to students. All right, we do it not just giving you answers. All right, teachers will actually prompt you for what are you supposed to write? What is the next step? All right, so we'll do it together. All right, the teachers will actually guide you here on how to actually plan the task fulfillment statements. Remember, you cannot find your answers in the stimulus.
Correct.
So all the task fulfillment, you have to write on your own. So how are you going to write that? So the teachers will actually plan it out for you. They'll guide you and in point forms. Then after that, later, it will be in complete sentences. Yeah. And also, as you can see later on, like for this stimulus, remember, the three activities, and then you have to choose one. So why is this chosen? Also, we'll give you the reason. Maybe because it's easier to write, or maybe because it's you have done it before. All right, so yeah.
This one is so amazing. I just would like to highlight all of these colored things are all in the teachers. We prepare for this for a long time, everyone. Before we step into the class, right, we've already done a lesson amongst ourselves on how we plan to go about the lesson for you.
Right.
So by the time you do it, the process is easier and easier for you to understand. And so while we plan like this, right, our goal is to eventually for your paper to also have this amount of information. So you go home, you can revise on your own. Let's go a bit closer. I see.
So this is what I meant by, I don't know whether you can see this. This is the part where you actually, the teachers actually go through with you on the task fulfillment statements, what you are supposed to write. All right, so remember that I told you, chosen time, give a date and time to carry out the chosen project, which is the first bullet point.
Correct.
So you cannot make up the numbers because it's VIA. So when will all the students, logically you must think.
Make sure it
logically
makes
you
sense
must think,
to
yeah?
put it on that time.
Correct. So it would be feasible for during the holidays.
Correct.
That's where you can do your VIA together as a what is it called? As a level.
Yes,
probably.
correct.
Yeah. So you see, it must be logical. You cannot say maybe in the middle of May or April, right? Because yeah, you'll be everyone in school maybe during their exams or whatsoever. So yeah, usually it's always the VIA is usually the post-exam activity, post-exam time or holiday period. So
and of course,
time as well.
Yeah, time is there.
You cannot put in at night, right? Who's going to do it at night? Right?
Correct. Also, it's December 24 at night, everyone's celebrating Christmas together.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, of course, bullet points 2 and 3.
Yeah, bullet points 2 and 3 are actually the task fulfillments, like explain why you choose the project, why you choose that VIA, all right, and what will it benefit from your involvement or stuff like that. All right, so all this, the teachers will actually go through with you on how to plan all these task fulfillment statements.
Wow. But how about a question page? Also too many notes,
Yeah, for the question page, it's almost like what I said. The teachers were actually like what I told you just now, PACT2. So purpose, audience, context, tone, and your task fulfillment. So the teachers will actually lay out for you, break down. Yes, correct. Yeah. So context, who you are writing as, your avatar, your character. All right, and who you are writing to. Right? All this is also going to be unpacked together as a class.
Oh, that's nice. So look at this, everyone. Look at this. Avatar, as a class chairman, people will expect that what? Strong communication skills. That's why you were asked to give the speech, right? Organized and good in planning. That's why you're expected to give proper points later.
Correct.
Empathetic and wow.
Yeah.
And then you also talk about the classmates.
Yeah.
Who you're writing to.
Who you are. Yeah, the content who you are going to talk about.
Yes, interesting. And then, of course, teacher will give you some keywords that you can use to persuade them.
Yeah. So these keywords or these words, right, are words that are very convincing.
Yeah.
All right. For persuasion techniques, lah. Yeah. So these words are things that you need to, remember when you write this type of speeches.
Yeah.
It's a speech, right?
Correct. Persuasion, and it's good because you can only really do this right if you understand what the purpose. You go back to PACT2 and then create your avatars correctly from there. So every step has to be done properly.
Yes.
Then plan what to do for every
so it's basically a step-by-step thing. All right, but it's planned out for you carefully, and if you practice this way, it will actually benefit you for your WAs or for your exams. Because actually we are creatures of habit, right?
Yes.
So the more you do systematically, step by step, the more you'll be familiarized with it, and it creates a habit. So when it comes to exams, right, you won't have any issues. Yeah. So yeah.
I think the most wonderful thing as well, everyone, is don't be scared. Like, oh my God, sure. What if you give us questions we don't know about? Because I had this a student. They were talking about traveling, but then student going to say, "Oh, I don't travel much, so I fail." Is it? Am I setting myself up for failure? But that's a good thing about writers of work. We don't feed you to the lions immediately. So before we even ask you to write something, we talk about the content. So we give you something to know about, supplementary reading. We give you notes. And then once we give you that content knowledge, then we will have some expectations from you to use that into your writing.
Correct.
So we help you. We don't really okay, you come here, we test you. No, we come here, we help you, we guide you through. We make thinking more visible for you. Wow, so much notes. Just like that. Like that.
I love Mario.
Those were the days. I don't know if these kids know Mario, but there are
They know lah.
There are modern versions
Mario,
of the
Super
game,
Mario.
right? Yeah, like that. But I know only the 2D. How do you call that kind of
the Game Boy one?
Yeah, like that. Yeah, I know the 2D version only. Okay, people. Now, this is the task fulfillment, the avatar creation, tips from teachers.
Yep.
And then making sure you plan out now.
Plan out
Teacher will not leave you alone. You plan together until you get used to the process. And then eventually, you should be able to teach you start hand hold, until eventually on your own can move.
Correct.
Okay, and that brings us to oh, this is the same one earlier.
Yeah,
right?
what the students learn basically.
Okay. I know now why is this back. Because the plane will come.
Yeah.
Because this is something we always tell students and parents, okay? And it's always important. That's why we're doing this live. You have to give yourself the 4-year or 6-year runway. When I say give yourself that 4-year runway, I meant you have to start now. If you don't want that and at the very last examination to be a stress, it doesn't have to be if you start now. As in, because sometimes I have students who perform very well.
Yep.
And then some people will go and say, oh, she's very smart. She doesn't, I never see her revise. But normally, you don't see them revise because they already revise every day. So there's no point where, oh my God, I need to memorize 10 essays. It's because it's done every day. So little by little every day for a long time actually will not stress you out.
Habit. It becomes a habit.
Yeah, correct. Habit. Word from Teacher Faiz today.
Habit.
That's the word. Before you go, I tell you what is Teacher Faiz's word. You have to know the word. Sure.
Good habits and not bad habits.
Sure. I don't know what I should start studying. I see. Good question, Kara. Good question. So that's something we can discuss later. As in, what are the things you can do now that you're on holidays, and at the same time, at which point, if you are going towards secondary school, that's a good thing, Kara. We shall talk about that. Later. We are very close to it, right? Because we have about 2 more things to discuss with them. But Kara, we shall share one thing with you first, and then we share more things with you. One thing we can share you is of course, what we teach here in Writers at Work. Okay, all these things basically. If all the problems Teacher Faiz shared with you just now, and even the problems you hear from our students and parents, we always try to know it every year so we can build the curriculum to guide all of you properly towards your end goal. Wow, situational writing, essay writing, oral, both sections, editing, compre, which by the way, no more MCQs. Revision lessons, test lessons. Wow, Teacher Faiz, you test them also in secondary class in writers?
Yeah, we have like our in-house test as well.
Why?
So we test, if you study, then there's no test how to gauge you where you are.
That's correct.
So that's why we have our own in-house test here. And when you are doing your in-house test, after you are done with your in-house test, the teacher will actually mark, and then after that, the teacher will actually give feedback to you, and also to your parents. There will be like report lah. Yeah. Basically.
I see. So we scaffold it for you lah, ladies and gentlemen. So we try our best to make sure that we give you the practice that you need for paper 1, 2, and 4. And at the same time, for the teachers, our Writers of Our Teachers would love to track your progress. And we can do that by looking at your school results and at the same time your Writers at Work results.
Correct.
Okay? The main difference, at least for primary to secondary, I would say is, which is very true from a lot of our students now. A lot of the parents and students say they stop their English tuition for secondary school.
They stop. Why?
Why? It's because, do you all think you speak English all the time? Like I speak English all the time.
Understand. I know where you're going.
Yeah, I speak English all the time. I don't need it. And then some of them will go and say, oh, maths and sciences are harder in secondary school, so I focus on them instead. The thing about English in secondary school is it's hard to fail, but it's also very hard to score high. That's the thing. You will not fail it, but I can tell you distinction rates are very low, 22% for the entire cohort. I think in the past, I would say 5 years or so, 22% only are the only ones who get A1 or A2. Not very high now.
I get distinction.
Wow, teacher! That's why Teacher Faiz is with us. People of the world. He's part of the 22%. What?
But
Teacher Faiz
mine
is
was
secret.
mine was way back lah.
But cannot lah, still hard lah.
Way back. Now I
But
think it's
teacher
harder.
Faiz, yes, we are creatures of habit. And oh, by the way, people, teacher Faiz is a very good sportsman also.
No
On
need.
top of being very good academically. So how do you, okay, a few tips, teacher, about time, how to manage time well in secondary school, and excelling in English basically. What are the things they can do, you know, something all throughout the year that you think they should just consistently do?
Just for me, I think when I was in secondary school, I was also a sports person. So I do have to manage my time carefully.
Yeah.
I was playing at the same time, and I was also not studying, not all the time, because sometimes I don't have time as well. So I have to sometimes sacrifice my weekends. I don't have time with my family, I just study first lah. Because during the weekdays I have my trainings and stuff like that. I have no time. After I come back home, it's really night, like 9 p.m, 10 p.m. So I go, I sleep. The next day I still have to go to school.
Wow.
And then that's where I have to manage my time properly lah. But I still revise, and whatever teachers teach in school, I will still remember by heart. And also I do a lot of practices, but this is all behind the scenes. Nobody knows I do that.
Correct.
Yeah, because they don't see. It's like only sometimes my weekends are burned lah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But of course now we put in the effort, right? It's never easy lah.
It's never easy because I was a student athlete as well, so I really have no time that point of time.
But you still managed to score. Wow!
Okay.
I would never be that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Like what I said, my time and this generation's time is different. Yeah, my format. I mean, the syllabus is way different last time. Yeah.
But I think the beautiful part of it, everyone, secondary life is one of the fun. It's a section in your whole life.
Be careful of that.
It's wonderful lah. It's wonderful, and it's gonna be very, very. Despite the difficulties, you will have to do it with people that you like. Okay, so find a good set of people that you surround yourself with, and then people you have the same goals with, whom you share the same values. You go through the struggle together. It will be fun.
Yeah. And then if you want to learn more, maybe you join us lah. I can teach you.
Teacher Faiz is actually our secondary teacher, ladies and gentlemen. Be careful of that chair, teacher, Mr. Cole. Why, huh? Is it broken, people of the world? How would you know? Yeah, I mean, I actually, to be honest, really, it's you can always do a lot of efforts now, but to be very strategic and exam smart with how you do things, it will take a lot of effort. It would be good if you get some advice from your teachers and even from your tuition teachers as well. Because you almost fall. Oh, sorry. Thank you so much for the concern, people of the world. Yes, so these are our lesson formats. We have always updated our curriculum to suit our students' needs year after year. Even when COVID happened, of course, we had COVID stories coming our way to make our essays more relatable to our students and even to the people who's going to be marking the work. Yeah, things like that. We do all these things now. And so, it's time for the bonus.
Before bonus, likes first lah.
Huh?
How many likes we have?
Oh, how many now?
8,000.
8.1K. Actually, Teacher Faiz, you raised a good point. Let's reach how much first before we give the bonus? 10K. So people, my biggest flex is that I can score A1 and train 4 times. Wow, Ozil 05, I am proud of you.
So
oh my God.
That's why your name is
Ozil, right? Yeah,
sports
correct.
person.
You actually
Soccer.
embody Ozil. Right, so I'm very good. I'm very bad at this thing. That means to say Ozil is a very good.
Yeah, Mr. Ozil he's actually a German who's born. He's from Turkey lah, but he played for Germany. Yeah.
Oh, Ozil 05, you embody the hard work of very pure and very hardworking athletes. But keep up the good work, you, huh? Do not be complacent. Okay, consistency is the key. So we need to reach 10K likes before we show you the bonus that we have promised you previously, people. Okay, so Let's go and continue, guys. However, while we're waiting for that 10K likes, Teacher Faiz, we shall ask you a few more questions. This has become the interview session for Teacher Faiz, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god.
Now, okay, actually, let's quiz them.
Probably can.
Okay, quiz time, people, quiz time. Firstly, Kara, Ozil 05, all the rest of you listening, if K Rose is still there, or whoever who just joined. Now, Teacher Faiz mentioned that when you unpack the situational writing question, you must figure out the PACT2. What does it stand for? PACT2. The two T's also. Write it down. Let's go. Let's give it a try.
Maybe in order lah. P stands for what,
Correct.
A stands for what, yeah.
Doesn't need to be in order, but at least this is a very good step. Kira, you were asking how to start revising. Now, this is a revision for you.
7 p.m. Are you doing live at 7 p.m.?
Teacher Faiz. People of the world, we have a 7 to 9 p.m. live today. Teacher Faiz and Teacher Jamie. I will also be there, but I will be a moderator. So yes, I'm joining the live, just not with my face, but with my fingers, tapping and replying to you, okay?
I'll be there lah.
Yes, Teacher Faiz will be there, so a lot more talking. Good luck. Yay, Teacher Jamie, yes, I'm 05. You're seeing her again later tonight, so make sure you get, purpose, very good.
Audience, good. What else? Context.
And now we
Tone.
are the two T's. Tone, and then the other one. The bullet points.
Task with pen, yeah, correct.
Wow, I am thoroughly amazed. Very smart. Okay. Do you have a quiz question for them? Anything that you've mentioned earlier that let's see if they remember.
Actually, this one very simple.
Okay, which one?
How many words minimum must you write?
Correct. If you are aiming for, let's say, A1, and you want to elaborate your work properly, at least how many words for situational writing? Paper! At least.
Kira said 750.
Oh, wow. 850, 750. Both are acceptable.
Can lah.
As long as you don't go below 750.
Yeah.
Correct.
Not say the more you write, you get more marks. Because if you write a lot, but there's mistakes, you will also be penalized.
Yeah.
So you need to...
It's a balance between
Yeah.
the length, but at the same time, how on point are your points? Because it can go both ways, you know. I don't know what kind of writers you are, Ozil and what you call this, Kira, but I have some students, number one, who struggle to elaborate. But I have some students who elaborate too much, who struggle to keep themselves within the within the limits of what is being asked of them.
Correct.
Correct. So, Teacher James and Teacher Faiz.
Do we have to count?
The number of words? No need. Kara, no need. The most important thing is step number one. You have to be smart enough to figure out your PACT2, unpack your question properly.
Yeah. Remember your task fulfillments. What are you supposed to do?
Correct.
Who you are writing as, who you are writing to.
Correct. Create your avatar.
And also when you need sometimes to reorder the points as well, because you need to be structured in a way that everything goes in the flow, coherent, cohesive as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good question from, Teacher Faiz dropped the two C's. Okay, the two C's. Coherent and cohesive. We talked about it earlier, don't worry. But Teacher Faiz, what does it mean to give them a word that's both coherent and cohesive?
What I meant by that is that you must remember that it must be in a flow, and everything has to be together. That means if you are writing para 1, it has to be the next one, what is it supposed to be? In order lah.
Correct.
Yeah. You cannot jump the order and maybe you jumble up the order of how you are writing that paragraph.
Yeah.
So sometimes your first bullet point might be the second one.
Yeah.
You need to rearrange on your own.
So that the flow is very nicely done.
Correct.
So two keywords are, I think create is fluent and cohesive is logical. Very good.
Yeah. Basically.
Coherent basically tests your very sophisticated synthesis and transformation skills. How well you connect points and how well you structure them such that they sound well put together.
Structured logically as well.
Correct. And of course, it has to be logical now. Is that really answering the task fulfillment being asked of you? Are you really writing it in the right tone? Have you really created your avatar properly? Does it sound like a class chairman? Does it sound like a leader of a club? Or does it sound like it's meant to be read by a principal, for example? Yeah. Correct.
Especially the tone as well. When you remember like what I said, when you are writing as a class chairman to your classmates, the audience is your classmates.
Correct.
So you need to persuade your friends. But what is the tone? The difference is that sometimes the tone is different between your classmates and also to a principal.
Yeah.
So those two are two different audiences which you need to categorize properly.
Correct.
Yeah. You cannot be, you must be formal with your principal.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
so
a way.
there's a lot of back-end processing, right? To even start a proper situational writing work.
Right, correct.
It sounds a lot now, it's fine. It sounds a lot now, but it's always practice. Let's say, for example, we give you 6-step process. Just keep repeating that 6 or 7-step process. It will just become second nature to you by the time you go for examinations. Wow. So the 2 C's, coherent and cohesive from Teacher Faiz, okay? Word count already tested. Let's test you one more thing. One more thing. Okay, this one, Teacher Faiz has elaborated earlier. What's one thing that can be done in primary situational writing that you cannot do in secondary situational writing anymore?
This one very easy.
Yes, correct.
Giveaway.
You're able to do this in primary, but secondary, no matter where you look for, cannot find. It was the first of the 3 challenges that we showed you earlier.
Talk about it quite a few times.
Yeah, because that is the very main cause of the answer straight from the text.
Must be more specific.
More specific. So answer straight from the text, what do you mean, Kara? You're guessing there. Answer straight from the text. That means to say in secondary situational writing, I can find it from the text, is it? Very good.
You cannot leave no answers Yeah, basically it's like you cannot get the answers from the stimulus.
Yes.
All right, you cannot leave. It's not like your PSLE, like what I said. Your answers are actually found on the stimulus itself. You can you need to identify properly and you match it with the task fulfillment.
Correct.
But for secondary level SW situational writing, you cannot do that.
Yes. Do remember, your situational writing marks in PSLE is like 14 and then Compo is 36. But in secondary school, do remember now we can match it because Teacher Faiz and Teacher Jamie's talked about essay last Wednesday. But now, how much for essay, teacher?
Now 30.
30 and situational writing?
30.
30 and 30 people. That's basically for me, I think the safest thing for you to brace yourself for it, Kira, is just think about you yourself writing 2 essays in secondary school. Treat them both as essay and treat them both. Do not treat one of them lightly. Both your essay and situational writing will need effort and focus and practice from you. Okay. Yes, we say yay. Because it's good that you know this now. What else? Anything else we can quiz them for today? So the PACTT, the word count, Oh, hello! Hello to those of you who just joined. Welcome. Well, over supportive. I love it. I love it. Okay. Anything else we can quiz them? What else have we mentioned that we can quiz them?
What else can we say? Wait, let me see.
I know.
What is it?
You know, in the challenges, right? Number 2 was, and then Ozil was saying like, oh, it can be challenging because there's different formats. What are the different types of situational writing work they may possibly get you to do?
At least 4 lah. Give me 4.
Correct. At least give Teacher Faiz 4. He will accept and move on. Different types. What did they ask you to write? Situational writing. Do they ask you to write a
speech for informal form writing? Okay, what else?
Informal and formal writing speech acceptable. Anything else, people? There's one that starts with letter P. There's also another one that starts with letter P L R. PLR. PLR. Let's go.
PLR.
PLR. Okay, thinking time. P is when you try to
do something.
but everything, all of them, you try to do something. But I'm trying to find a word that does not give it away. You try to convince them. I don't know. You kind of like. Without saying the word.
We cannot give you this hint. If you give you this hint, you know already the answer. So maybe you want to try?
Yeah, correct.
Proposal.
Oh, proposal! Very good.
Article.
Wow.
Yes.
How about the R one? The R.
One more.
One more. R. Let's go. Very strong. This is the Spider-Man sound effect. Like that.
I like that time.
Okay. The R.
I think Kara is Googling.
Hey, look at Kara's picture. This is Ronnie, you know. You see? She dressed it up. This one.
Oh, this one.
So nice. The last R. Okay, second letter for R. E. R-E.
Give clue lah.
Oh, this one you also do it.
If you do something wrong, I will what you to the police.
Oh. That is a good example. I will know. R. Okay, R.
She know already. I know. I told you.
I will want you to the police. Well done. So, I mean, we may not be, we don't have all the time in the world, Kara, to teach you everything we know. But it's good that you know what you'll be facing for secondary school. That's the first step.
I forgot I learned that. So okay.
Yes, correct. You've written that. That's one of the things you also write in primary school. Well done. So we basically actually talked about the two main problems. Word count. So at least you get an idea on what you'll be facing, Kara, for secondary school. And now 9.7K. We are almost there, people. We're almost there. 10K and you will see the bonus.
Must wait for 10K.
Oh yes, must wait. We will not go until we reach 10K to show you the bonus. Oh, see, I see people of the world liking and Kara. Very good. Very strong hands. And of course, before we give you the bonus stuff, a few final tips and reminders for them to wrap up both essay. Let's just say wrap up both essay and situational writing for paper 1, teacher Faiz.
Right.
What are the things they can do to prepare and brace themselves for it?
I think now maybe for P6 students who are transitioning to secondary 1, I think for a head start for yourself, you might want to, now internet. All right, there's the internet. You can actually Google up on some papers, or also that you can actually go to our Writers at Work webpage.
Correct.
Yeah. There are some example papers that you can actually get from it.
Yes.
Yeah. So you might want to also, if you don't know how to do it, maybe you can just have a look at it, see what's the difference again, like what I told you just now. And if you already know, maybe you might want to try and do it on your own.
Correct. So a few things that
no harm trying lah.
Yeah. So get some papers and practice doing them on your own. Perhaps you can get help from your teachers now, both in school and tuition center.
Yeah, and you can actually just try, and maybe when you try already, right, it won't be like an abrupt thing for you when you go to Sec 1.
Correct.
You already know what to expect, I guess. Yeah.
Correct.
And don't worry about it being too difficult or whatsoever. I think it takes practice lah. Yeah. You need to practice lah. And I think we hit that 10K like already.
Yay! Good job, people. Good job. So now, to recall one more time, we're giving this bonus is because you're going secondary 1 soon. You will have in your first weighted assessment somewhere in February or March. And so, March, right?
Usually, maybe after Chinese New Year
after
also.
Chinese
maybe
New Year,
maybe early February, very fast.
Correct. So around that time, don't shock yourselves. A lot of the first weighted assessments are normally for situational writing as well. They like to test you with that. So brace yourselves. And even if it's not for weighted assessments, right? School teachers like to do this. They like to test you with past year questions. So this is our bonus for you. Tan, tan, tan. This is the question from 2022. O-level situational writing. So if you want, you can have a can see her, can zoom in a bit and give them
Screenshot
a chance to screenshots.
This part first?
This part first. Okay, first we zoom in the stimulus. Zoom in the stimulus and then take a screenshot. Let's go. Okay, ready.
Some more?
Like that.
Can.
Let's give them about 10 seconds. A 10, a 9, 8, 7, 6. I only have 5 seconds.
You only have 5 seconds.
Very good. So the other numbers are manual. Okay, screenshot for the question page. Let's go. Thank you, Jean. Yes. Slowly. Yes, question page. People like this. Trust me. Either your teacher or your parent will test you on this for sure. So give it a go. You may want to practice it actually.
You can just screenshot it. After that on your screen you can make it bigger or smaller. So
correct.
Yeah.
5 more seconds.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, good job. Now, do keep in mind, unpack it properly. PAC, T2, task fulfillment, remember. Then do your avatar creation, plan your points, structure it well before even starting to write it. Then, we had not just one, but of course, we want to give you the one from 2023. Are we ready? This one from last year. Okay. First, we zoom in the
stimulus.
yes,
Yeah.
Correct.
This one
Stimulus first. 10 seconds, people. 10 seconds. 10.
Do the
9,
Vanna White thing.
8. 6.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yay! Okay, question page. Prepare. Royston, maybe we can get an explanation from you on how, if you recall the situational writing from
Last year.
from
This year lah, the
from this
2024.
Then we can give them a heads up on what you managed. What was it about now? So we can share with
VIA
them.
also, right?
Yeah, so VIA is about an event.
Yeah.
That's basically a school event. Yeah, then you're supposed to plan which event would you choose to run.
Out of 3 you choose one,
Yeah,
right?
out of 3 you choose one.
And then why is it? What benefits and all this?
what
Yeah.
benefits,
Basically,
why
Do
yeah.
you recall what were the 3 choices? No pressure. Whatever you can remember, let's tell them. Yes, we are currently, the voice that you're hearing is Royston, our student, and he's sharing his own 2024 question, people. So you get the most recent one. It was also like in format like this. They were given 3 options event. You recall that?
Oh, it was one of them was about a dance competition.
I see. Okay,
So
dance
you're supposed to
competition.
Write about how students are able to show off their creative ability and how they are able to express themselves. Yeah. The other 2.
You can't remember.
Okay.
Because you chose the dance
Yeah, I chose
competition,
the
is
dance.
it?
Yeah.
Know it, yes.
It's okay. Yeah. Usually the questions, especially for SW, right? It's related to your VIA. It's related to like what type of things that you want to plan for the school. It's usually related to school lah. Yeah. So like what I said, later on when you are in secondary school, once you reach Sec 3 or Sec 4, you will familiarize yourself with all these VIA's activities, all these post-exam activities that you will do in school. So these activities that you do in school, you experience it already. So when you are in Sec 3 and Sec 4, when you're doing your SW, your situational writing, you won't have any issues already because you experience it before. Yeah. So basically for O-levels, I mean for SEC, your final paper that you do for your secondary school education certificate, it should be this type of questions.
Correct.
Yeah. So
it's a commonly
it's very common.
Smart enough lah. There are very commonly tested types of questions.
Correct.
I even learned. I had a conversation with Royston earlier as well. He gave a very good tip for all of you. So, Royston, tell them about you've actually managed to prepare beforehand. There are some kind of like points that you can repeatedly use no matter what project or what activity they put in the question. What are these repeated points that you can reuse and like tweak through your situational writing work?
Usually for situational writing, they will always ask you how can it benefit the students,
Right.
or what values and the students can actually take away from this event.
Ah.
So you can prepare and memorize a few good values or good few lessons that you can always use during your situational writing.
Tangible and intangible benefits,
Yeah,
correct?
Very
Right.
good. Actually, that's very smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
These are things you can actually prepare beforehand.
That
As in-
yeah, we actually as teachers as well as writers, we actually give them all these examples.
Wow.
So if you are a very diligent student, you will actually remember and memorize some of these points, I guess.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's nice. I like that you grouped it into tangible and intangible.
Yeah.
It's amazing because these values, right? If I for example elaborate on performing arts, like creativity, it's something that you can always like also tweak and use it.
Hello.
Oh my God, that's
Who's
truly amazing.
Mrs. Sasi.
I know this. This is Nandini. Okay, Nandini. Am I correct? Did I remember it correctly? So Nandini is using her mother's TikTok account.
I see.
Nandini, hello! We are just about to end, but Teacher Faiz and Teacher James will be back later at 7 to 9 p.m. to tell you about, the differences between PSLE and secondary English.
Oral.
Be careful with spending the badges, the gift that you give from your mother's TikTok account. Okay. Oh wow, 10K. And so this is your second bonus. Wow, it's been a very good 2 hour with you, everyone. Thank you all so much. I hope that we gave you some very good idea on what you should be preparing for when you
No,
step into secondary
Kira is
school.
asking, is it on Compre? No, it's on
Yeah,
oral.
sure. Is it on Compre?
Oral.
Oh, this one is oral. So, Nandini, I know you're P5, right? Turning P6, right? What is it? Am I correct? Later on, this will be helpful for you, whether you're P5 or P6. Oh my God. Oral is important, okay? Especially because it has higher weightage now in PSLE 2025. At the same time, it's just gonna go higher on secondary school. So yeah, hopefully you go in later, 7 to 9 p.m. with Teacher Faiz and Teacher James.
Maybe you have your lunch, your dinner earlier.
Correct,
Then after that you join, or maybe you can just eat while you are watching.
Correct. That's the beauty of joining the live. Can eat while joining, but can also eat beforehand.
But I cannot eat lah. I just eat this lah.
Not Ronnie. This one.
If I'm hungry, I just eat one of them.
Yes, thank you, Kara. Thank you to those of you who joined. See you again in our next
Bye bye.
session.
See you.
Bye.
Remember to follow us.
Yes, follow and subscribe and like.